time to wake up. It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up.
Really happy to be here with you guys today, and I'm really curious about what you think about our study on greenwashing. And to get started, I actually have a question for you guys, and I need your participation, okay? So already, get a little warm and practice raising your hand, because my question to you guys today is, did you see green content on LinkedIn within the last 7 days? If so, please raise your hand. Okay, and now hang in with me and keep your hands raised if you think some of this content was greenwashed. Oh, I see even more hands. That's not a good sign, right? Thanks a lot for participating. And this is actually one of the questions we asked around 150 marketing and communication experts around the globe to find out whether greenwashing is actually a thing on LinkedIn. And we partnered up and joined forces together with the GREENTECH Festival, we as the people branding company, to conduct this survey with more than 100 marketing professionals and ask them a lot of different questions. And I'm here today to present these really exclusive insights to you guys. But to get to know you also, please raise your hands if you're actually working in marketing and communication. Anyone here? Okay, that's good. You're exactly in the right session right now, and I hope this finds you right and you can actually work with the outcomes of our study. Before we get started, I want to quickly introduce myself. My name is Celine Flores-Villas, and I founded a company about 4 years ago, and what we do is we help companies, C-levels, founders to build a brand on LinkedIn. And that often includes green content as well. I started myself building my brand about 5-6 years ago, starting with 300 followers, building up a community to now 180,000 followers, making my account one of the top 20 accounts in Germany. And through all these learnings, of course, I have a lot to tell about green communication as well. And with a lot of followers comes a lot of responsibility, of course. So this is why we always have a look at the latest trends, and we want to find out what's going on the platform and what might also be the risks. And I can feel in the conversations I had today already that greenwashing is actually something that companies are very afraid of. And it's your responsibility as marketing experts to take care that your green initiatives are communicated in the right way. So let's have a look at the outcomes. First of all, we wanted to know whether LinkedIn is generally important when it comes to green communication. And more than 150 marketing experts say, yes, it is. 72% of respondents consider LinkedIn as a channel to communicate sustainability matters as highly important, or at least as important. Okay, so if you want to communicate on green topics, LinkedIn is definitely your platform to do so. First key takeaway. And then we also asked the question I just asked you. How often do you see green content? And do you believe it's greenwashed? And those are the results. 45% of respondents see greenwashing on LinkedIn on a weekly basis even, and more often. And I found that this is quite shocking, and it shows the importance of doing green communication in the right way, right? But what makes people even think that content is greenwashed? I mean, how can they even know, right? How can they know? And it's about several things, actually. To show you some examples, we asked, what types of greenwashing do you frequently notice on LinkedIn? And 68% of respondents notice highlighting positive companies to discover destructive business models. So people think that if you don't have a good business model, no matter what you communicate, it's going to be greenwashed. Okay, so here companies who don't necessarily have a green business model in general have a disadvantage compared to other companies in general already when getting started. Is that unfair? I don't know. Work on your business model, right? And then second, 63% of respondents noticed that claims are not backed by enough facts. So if you do green communication, it must be fact-based to people. And also, don't talk about things you want to do in the future, but talk about things that you're doing now already, which I think is also really exciting or interesting, that people don't want to hear in 2035 we want to be climately neutral. This is not what people like. People think, oh, that's not good green communication, but instead say what you're doing now already to help to become climate neutral, and not what your goals are. And to me personally, this was, I mean, I'm a marketing and communication expert, right? To me, this was personally like one of the most interesting findings in our survey. Because what are you guys scared of? It's not the actual costs that come with a fine, but more the reputational risk, right? Marketing experts are not scared of the costs that come with a fine, but more of the reputation you lose in terms of customers, in terms of stakeholder management, the reputation you lose when people think that your content is greenwashed. We had many more insights, but I can only share some right now. But if you want to get in touch on this topic and know more about the survey, about the outcomes, please approach us afterwards. Feline from my team and I will be here, and we're happy to talk about the outcomes and to give you more insights and also more tips on how to translate it in a good communication, actually. Our key takeaways from the study. First of all, yes, LinkedIn does have an importance when it comes to green communication. Second, communicate with facts. Always do it fact-based. Don't tell any random stories, but back them up with some facts. And third, and lastly, if you don't have a sustainable business model, work on your business model, okay? And not on your communication only. And I guess that's, to me personally, most important. And I mean, this won't be a good session, I guess, if I won't tell you or show you some of the profiles that I think do a good job on LinkedIn when it comes to green communication. And one of those profiles is the profile of Sigrid Nikutta. I guess some of you who use LinkedIn a lot know her, and if not, please check out her profile because I think she does a very good job. And why do I think so? First of all, she posts 4 to 5 times per week. As a C-level, in a C-level position, that's quite a lot, right? So if your CEO does only share content and not use the platform really actively, give them a push because this is what they gotta do, right? They need to increase the frequency of their posts, first of all. That is what she does really good in general. But then also when it comes to her postings, what we see here, that she takes people into her daily lives, shows pictures of where she is, what she does, which makes her content very approachable. And second, I love her content mix. She does not only post pictures, selfies, etc., but she has this good mix of fact-based communication, of stats, of graphs, of figures, but mixed with this more kind of personal content, which gives her like a solid foundation for good communication. It's personal and it's informative at the same time. A second example I want to show you today is the example of Mark. He's the chairman of the executive board at Otto, and I think he also does a very good job for a different reason. Why do I think his posts are green? Why do I think his green communication is done in a very good way? I think so because he actually takes us or shows us really concrete projects. It's not this kind of what we just already heard and saw, this is what we're going to do in the future, but instead he tells us what Otto does right now. What have they already got in place? How does it exactly work? He gives very concrete examples. It's not just about plans, it's about what's happening right now at Otto. And then, last but not least, Luisa Dellert. And I also brought her example because she's not a CEO, she's not from a corporate company, she's not from the corporate world. Instead, she's a content creator. And in the first moment, you might think, okay, we're not content creators, we're not influencers. I don't want to have anything to do with this. But no, to me personally, when you use a platform like LinkedIn, I think you should learn from the best. And content creators, this is their main job, right? It's not the main job of a CEO to create LinkedIn posts, but it's Luisa's main job to create good content. And her topic is green communication. She talks about green projects, about green communications, and I think you should always also consider looking at profiles like hers, because she also does a really good job, and especially when it comes to shareable content. So here on the right, you see a posting which is really shareable, and that in the end makes posts go viral, or at least gives the chance of posts to go viral. If a lot of people see it and think, oh, that's interesting, I can share it. Look at the posting on the left, on the right, around 170 or 180 shares of this post. And the more people like, comment, and share, the more traffic is generated for your post. So it's always a goal on LinkedIn and in general on social media to create shareable content, and that's exactly what she's really good at. So consider having a look at her profile as well as the other threes.
It's time to wake up.